Hello! Welcome back to part 3 of my Santa Claus tutorial series. We draw this picture, this portrait of Santa. In part 1 we have drawn the face. Yesterday in part 2 we have drawn the beard, and today we continue with the hat and the jacket and that brown bag, the sack with the gifts inside. So if you have missed the lessons of the past days, then check out my channel, you'll find them there. The last 2 days we have already drawn Santa, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Now let's dive into part 3. Let's then draw the head. Let's take a white again and plot that in so a bit roughly here above and create that woolen structure. Make it here so lighter on top. You can really use here broad strokes to sketch that in. Use here broad strokes. Here, so upwards. Sketch that in at the upper part. Add a bit of a base layer here with the white. More down. Let's use here the terracotta near the face to create a bit of a contrast and shadow here. Terracotta. And a bit of darker red, I would say, here below. Bring that red into the head that we have in the face a bit. And then blend that first layer. Blend it a bit upwards here together with the white. Create just the first base layer. I blend it so a bit also in strokes to create the first structure. Just use the paper stamp and press in some strokes upwards, following a bit in a bow to create that furry part. I would also then plot in a red for the head. Let's take a nice red. So I take the Caputhello red. Let's take a cherry red here on top. In the middle here. Plot that in on the head. Let's take a black here near the white. We need here shadow, and also here. Plot in a bit black, so as contrast here. Here also we need black close to the face. Bring in a bit black here, and so a bit darker parts in the head. Sketch in here a bit of the black. Bringing also the black a little bit into that woolen part of the head, and we have also here then pom-pom. Add a bit shadow between Pastel and head 2, and I bring in here below a little bit more black. Then take a paper stamp and blend carefully. I blend carefully over that shadow I have here below, a little bit upwards. Blend a bit over the black we have added here and bring it upwards. Blend it carefully together with the face, that you have here nice transitions. black a little bit upwards. And also here, blend the black above here really well around our head fur. You can also blend the black a little bit over the head here on the left side of the head, right of the shadow, and blend over the red. Okay, maybe use the finger a bit. Then let's add also another, so I add a bit of another lighter red on the left side of the head here, or add a bit orange on top as a lighter glaze on it. I add also a bit orange here, and add maybe a bit yellow, so a lighter vanilla yellow on top, just to add a bit highlight on that upper part where light is shining. On the head we can use a bit of a violet near the shadow here, mix violet red together with the shadow, or darken the head here a bit on the right side, and add red again. So I want to keep it also a bit more reddish, not too violet. Add another layer, mix the colors together here, and create that red head of our Santa here. Plot in here also a bit more red. Okay, mix it a bit with the fingers maybe. You should not swipe out of your Santa if you don't want to draw a background like I did here, but with that eraser you can remove that. Okay, maybe I go over a little bit with the terracotta here. Add a bit highlight with white on top here. Yes, we could also brighten up the part here on the right a little bit with white. Then work a bit on the head, on the structure of the head. There I also bring in a little bit of the blue, especially here, so on the right in the shadow area. Let's add a little bit of light blue. Add some little strokes that are going upwards, rightwards. This wool can then also overlap a bit here, and also add a little bit blue maybe here in the shadow part near the face. It can be here a bit darker. We can also add a bit of a red brown there, so bring in some little strokes with the red brown we have used in the face for some darker colors here in that woolen part of the head. And I draw some a bit thicker strokes in all directions and let them here so nice overlap. We can also add the red near the head here above a little bit. Here it is a bit in the shadow on the right. So let's add here a bit of that red. You can also take a paper stamp and blend over that a little bit while you're drawing the layers. Blend a bit over it. Then I take here, I want to darken down the lower part, I go over with the black again. Sometimes you have just to darken some parts a bit and add a bit more of the color you have added before. Especially here, it should also be darker near the face. Here we can also add some little bows, maybe a bit upwards with the black. And blend a bit over with the paper stamp. Here blend over also a bit that it does not look like a frame. We could add a bit of the red brown, so down into the face here. And there is also a bit shadow in the face. Okay, let's also add a bit of the terracotta. So use terracotta or an ochre brown and go over here on the head with some strokes of different colors here. Let them here overlap a bit, also so upwards. Here where we have then the light above, I add not so many orange, but a little bit. Let them cross. Let them go here, so in all different directions. We can also add a bit yellow here. And so yellow strokes. Maybe also a little bit, so here below add some little yellow. So smaller. You can work here with broader strokes too. Don't have to make them too fine. Blend it here in the shadow part. Make it a bit yellow. Just to give that hat also so a bit of a shine. And then go over with white and add a lot of so white little curls and strokes. They can also go here a bit downwards and here then upwards. That they go here a bit downwards, overlap here above the head. And here it's then overlapping the background, but first we need to draw a background. Press a bit more here above, that these white strokes here overlap the head. Also here in the shadow, here they don't have to be so brilliant. Yes. Of course, the finer these strokes are, the more detailed it will be, but it looks also nice to make them a bit thicker in that case. Add more so just press more, add more pressure to create these thicker strokes here. Let them cross a lot and overlap. Yeah, maybe some are going also a little bit downwards. They change here a bit of direction in the middle. Okay, make it so a bit fluffy. You can also go in here and there with a darker color if you want to add a bit more contrast between those white lines here, or here where they are going in different directions in the middle, that we bring in here a bit contrast with the darker color, also from above downwards. This we could do with the red. Here to add a bit raw amber, or add here some strokes with the red downwards into the head area here, or with the black here. Going in with the black. Also here below near the face. Add a bit black. Blend it here a bit. Here we could go over with a white and add some more hairs. So where is my white? Let's have a look. Here is a white. Just go over here and add maybe here some more hairs. Okay. Yes, nice. We can then also go in with the white once more and add here more of these crossing little strokes. The more, the better. Play a bit around for sure, but you can also keep it loose, so try to develop your own style. Maybe I go over here also once more with some more white strokes here. Add a bit more contrast. Okay, then let's plot in here a bit of white on that upper part of that pom-pom. Also so a bit in a, like, so in a circle around. Then I add a bit orange here below as underpainting, as we did here on the head. And add a bit blue here in the shadow area. And then blend that. Blend a bit over it here, also over the white, and add also a bit of the darker, let's say a darker red, or a darker like the flesh color we have used here in the middle of the pom-pom, and bring that into the shadow area. Add a bit gray, so a middle gray, some strokes of middle gray, so on the right area and here below. Darken that part, so down, and add then so strokes in a circle around. Draw that pom-pom. Add also the terracotta as a shadow part here above. Some strokes leftwards, here below downwards. Let it go so around. And then we need a bit black here. Let's add a bit shadow below on the sack, below the pom-pom, and draw some black lines into the pom-pom. The same here around, that we bring in here a bit of the black into the pom-pom too. Let's then blend over the black here a little bit. Blend also over the pom-pom. So really we need here contrast around our pom-pom. Blend a bit over the shadow areas. We could also add a bit of a darker blue maybe here in that shadow area on the right. And go then once more with a light blue on top with some strokes that are here so overlapping. And then with the white, so take a white cup of cello or so and add here above really brilliant white fluffy strokes. Here are some that are going a bit downwards, and also draw them a little bit into the shadow. Make this pom-pom so fluffy. Let some of these strokes overlap. Maybe add a bit blue so near the face here, it's also a bit of shadow. And a bit orange again here on the pom-pom below, or in the shadow area here on the right. You can for sure also add some highlights. With the white, for example, so take a white pit. I'm sharpening the white pencil. So that we say we add here so fine, fluffy little overlapping hairs here and there too. Make it a bit finer, for example, with some thinner lines. You can also for sure let here some fine hairs overlap over the head. So the finer and thinner your lines are, the finer your outcome will be. But this a little bit more loose style is also nice to draw, even if you are just starting out. Okay, great. Then let's also do here a part here on the jacket, bringing in some strokes here so downwards, where we have also this fabric wool or fur on the jacket. Okay, let's then bring in here a bit of so a red brown between, because it's a part of the jacket. The jacket here is shining through a bit. Let's add here a bit of a red brown also below that white woolen fur here, bringing in a bit of a darker red brown here below, also here where the shadow is below the beard. I plot that in a bit, so a red brown, bringing in some red lines here upwards, and then use a nice red for the jacket here as an underpainting. Also here we need a bit shadow between, but plot in here the red and add a bit black here where we have here the arm, and a bit shadow here. It makes a bit of a fold. Let's also mix in the black here below a bit. Always add black and mix darker colors directly on the paper, or here where the beard is, that we also bring in here some darks upwards, darken down the shadow area on the right, and blend that maybe here a bit together with the cotton swab, or it's better with the paper stamp. I prefer to blend these layers here with the paper stamp. Blend here over the reds. Blend the dark red with the black together. Here we can also add a bit of an orange or a lighter red. So let's plot in a bit terracotta here, also maybe here above. Or really an orange, maybe a little bit. Mix it in with the red. That we just bring in here, a bit more red. And blend a bit over, maybe with the finger. Make it smooth. And then blend over the white part of our jacket here a bit with the cotton swab or with a paper stamp. Take a white, we could also add a bit white of the Rembrandt soft pastel stick to create that white here. I could also add that on the beard here a bit to make it whiter, to just add a little bit more white here really on top of that beard, or add so little fine curls here downwards. You can also use the edges of the stick. Here I go over a little bit with a raw amber or so here below, and also color that a little bit more golden in the shadow below. Maybe use a golden ochre a little bit going here over in the shadow, and add a bit of maybe also brown here below in the shadow, and add then again more white on top here, so white little strokes, they can here overlap, bringing white strokes here in. And here we have the beard. This can also so overlap that woolen part, making here then so curves. Let's add a bit of white also here as highlight on our jacket and here on the upper part, or we could also use a bit ivory for that, or a lighter yellow, so that we take this vanilla yellow here for some highlights, and also maybe bring in here some strokes, bring in a bit of a structure into that jacket, or work a bit with the red and bring in here so a bit some lines upwards and downwards. Okay, let that loose. Let's then, let's refine our beard here a bit. Let's overlap with the raw amber and with a bit of a golden ochre here. Let here this overlap the jacket, and also this white part around the jacket. Maybe add a little bit of contrast here, so below the beard, that we know here this is the beard, and this is the jacket. I go in here, so I add a bit shadow here. Maybe bring in a little bit of light blue here below. add a bit of a contrast, maybe with a brown a little bit, or with that brown ochre. Add also a bit with that brown ochre here below. Okay, we have here a bit contrast. And take the white again and maybe go over here with some more beard lines here. Let it here below, so overlap. Use a little bit less pressure for these fine overlapping hairs here. Make them so really a bit curly. Add so curvy lines here. I blend the soft pastel pigment a little bit upwards that I have added before to create here some better transitions. The same here. Draw a bit so upwards and downwards here. Let's overlap here some so curls of the beard. Okay. Yes, maybe add here a bit of a highlight too. Okay, then let's work on the part here with the hand and the sack. Let's draw, so let's take the golden ochre we had before and let's plot that in here as a base layer on that present bag. Plot it in here, very simple. So take a golden ochre and then take the black and add here, let's say here, so shadows in the middle. We also need black here below that bag. We can plot it in here as contrast. There is shadow in the middle. So we can also make here the bag a little bit broader. Add also some brown, so add a walnut brown here below the shadow a bit. So here at the lower part, add a bit of the brown. I take the black here again and plot that in below the hand. And also here, bringing a bit contrast. You can blend over that a bit with the finger or with a cotton swab, with your paper stamps. I use also here a bit of a cotton swab and blend over it. Blend over the black. Then add a bit of a more orangey tone. Let's go in a bit with orange here too, so that it's not so brown. Let's brighten it up a little bit with an orange color here. Same here below a bit. With another ochre tone. Use just different ochres. Maybe also a little bit of a sanguine. So another orange brown. Just to create that sack, and add with a stick. So here's some highlights. You can use the part of the stick and create so a bit interrupted structure that looks nice here. with the soft pastel stick. And then I go in here between again a bit with the shadow. Can also add some bit strokes with the black. Here near the hand then it's also shadow. Add a bit of a strokey structure with the black. Okay. Here we have also the shadow below. You can use the paper stamp for blending. Okay, so Santa Claus is coming to life on our paper. I hope you like these. I hope you create beautiful portraits and beautiful artwork. Tell me below in the comment how you like this. If you would like to see more of these lessons here on my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell that you also get notifications. Here you find my tutorial of the month. It's a lesson out of my online drawing school that you can get this month. And here you can find another video of the Advent Calendar series. And then I hope I see you soon. Bye bye!